Don't forget to hit the notification bell, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned. Hey team, welcome back to my channel. We're doing something a little different today. It's going to be the first in a series, and it's a come cook with me. We're going to spend some time in the kitchen. I'm finally going to try and see if I can get a data transfer cable for my brand new camera for vlogging. I showed you a couple of vlogs ago that I had purchased a new camera for vlogging, which I haven't actually used. Well, I have used, but you haven't seen any footage from it. And I'll link that somewhere up here. I'm also going to get a whole bunch of veggies because today is going to be the first of my cooking series. Thank you, Adam, for mentioning this. Okay, so I just got back in the car. I went to Good Guys where I actually purchased the camera from. First, they were baffled that a data transfer cable wasn't in the box that I purchased when I had purchased the camera. So we opened up another box of the same camera. Nope, wasn't there. Then I was baffled that they actually didn't sell them. And looks like, I asked if JB Hi-Fi would sell them, and they were like, oh no, probably not. You'd have to go to a specific Canon website to order them because it's a Canon specific cable. Every other camera company uses a universal cable. How annoying. What a runaround trying to get footage off of my new camera onto my computer. Oh my goodness. So now I'm going to try my luck at a mega computer store to see if they have anything that could help me. I don't particularly want to have to wait 5 to 10 working days to order something online or through eBay. And look, let's face it, eBay isn't exactly reliable. Well, it is, but not 100%. Fingers crossed. As you all know, I am a group fitness instructor, which means I expend a lot of energy. If you don't know, hey, surprise. Not only am I a group fitness instructor in my former life, before I went back into this industry full time, and I will link that vlog that I mentioned, I spoke all about that, up here somewhere. I was a chef. I was a chef full time, and I have been a qualified chef for, gosh, since 2003 is when I finished my apprenticeship trade. So that does put me a little bit ahead of the game because I know cooking methods, I know techniques that will sustain or maintain integrity of the food. I'm also vegan, and the question I always get is, where do you get your protein? Aren't you hungry all the time? How do you sustain your energy levels? I'm going to answer that today. Not only am I a former chef, a group fitness instructor, vegan, but I'm also a registered nutritionist. I know, it's like trifecta all over. On the days that I teach classes or even multiple classes, I generally expend around 2,000 to 3,000 calories, which means I obviously need to refuel. And not just refuel, but sustain enough energy should I have to take another class in the evening. What I'm going to do today is a little different. It's actually going to be the first in a series. We're going to do a little bit of a cook with me. I have pre-prepared a bunch of food. I've got broccoli, I've got brown rice with quinoa, mashed sweet potato, and chopped up red capsicum and avocado. And what we're going to be making today is a Buddha bowl, or more accurately, a Buddha container, because this is going to be my lunches for the week. Every single one of these ingredients has been chosen not just because I like to eat them, but for a reason, and I will break that down for you. I usually like to start my Buddha bowls with a base. The base that we're using today is brown rice and quinoa. Now the reason I've chosen brown rice is because 1 cup contains 3.5 grams of fibre and provides around 85% of recommended daily intake of manganese. Now what is manganese? It's an enzyme that helps you break down carbohydrates and protein and changes them into energy. So it's one of your energy cycles. Brown rice is also very low GI, so it helps maintain or regulate your blood sugar level. It's slow releasing, it's not going to hit you straight out the gate. It's going to build up and make sure that you're able to sustain energy levels throughout the day. This is 2 cups worth that I did cook. Sometimes I go a little crazy when it comes to putting together some ingredients, thinking, oh, I'll just cook a little bit, and then it turns out I can feed like a whole family of 10, and it's just me, and sometimes Adam. Adam's also vegan, FYI. The next ingredient that I like to put into my bowls or my containers is sweet potato. We all know sweet potato has so many benefits to it, but let's break it down, shall we? 1 medium-sized sweet potato, this was one medium-sized sweet potato, can have up to 25 grams of complex carbohydrates and fiber. Again, slow releasing, which is what you want when you're a group fitness instructor. You don't want to be crashing and burning straight out the gate because you've tried to get your energy levels up with a quick fix, usually with pre-trainer or a coffee or energy drinks. Sweet potato also has 28% of your recommended daily intake of manganese. So if you aren't a brown rice or quinoa fan, you can get some manganese from sweet potato. It also has a whopping 448% of your recommended daily intake of vitamin A, which as a vegan is very vital for me. Now the reason I'm not actually measuring for my lunches is because my breakfast is usually quite controlled. It's almost always 2 slices of bread, gluten-free vegan bread of course, with Nutritionist and Vegemite, and then a cup of coffee. So my breakfast is controlled, my dinner is controlled. When I say controlled, I check the calories. I don't go 100% in depth, but I make sure that I stay within a certain limit. Therefore, my lunch, I'm giving myself at least an 800 to 900 calorie range to work with. That's because if I've done multiple classes, which I usually have in the mornings, and then I'll have more at night, it's like a reward. I'm not a heavy drinker, I don't smoke, I don't do recreational drugs, I don't do the club scene. I exercise, that's my thing. So this is my little reward. Following right along after sweet potato, we've got broccoli. Broccoli isn't necessarily high in energy or slow releasing, but it is one of the highest vegetables that has protein content. It's packed with fiber. One of the last few ingredients that I'm putting in is red capsicum. And red capsicum because red capsicum is actually loaded with beta-carotene and antioxidants. Antioxidants help fight free radicals in your body, in your brain, can have a hand in the development of things like Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. Finally, our very last thing to put into our Buddha lunch pack is avocado. Avocado is like one of my favorite things ever. Avocado is a bit of a superfood. It contains a whole bunch of healthy fats, and 84% of those healthy fats are monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. The fact that it has those in there, those components can help regulate your blood and keep your cholesterol levels way down. It is a slow releasing energy source. I'm sure you see a theme here. And it's completely loaded with B vitamins. As a vegan, highly important, which are required for the function of your mitochondria within your cells. And here is our finished product. Now I am going to go ahead and make a bunch more, because obviously, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff still in front of me. We got 4 days worth of Buddha bowls, packed full of energy, fiber and protein for the week ahead. What I've also got in front of me is my choice of snack, and that's fresh pineapple. This is in case I need an instant energy boost or I'm feeling any form of inflammation from over-exercise. Did you know that when you are overdoing it at the gym and you're feeling it in the knees, in the elbows, in the joints, as well as your muscle soreness, eating at least half a cup of fresh pineapple will help reduce the swelling. Pineapple is the only natural source of bromelain, which is a completely massive anti-inflammatory. Another lesson for you. To wrap things up, if you are a very active, sporty person, if you are vegan, or even if you aren't, always make sure that you are, 1, prepared for your week ahead so you don't get caught snacking on rubbish. 2, have in mind what you're trying to achieve with your food, other than just filling your hunger. We want to make sure that you are nourishing your body, you are giving yourself enough energy for the day, for the tasks that are involved within your day, and that you're actually enjoying it. Those 3 things can be a bit of a balancing act, and sometimes we don't achieve all 3. Most of the time I try to achieve at least 80% of all 3, which I think I've done today. Finally, the last thing to touch on is the cooking methods that you use. Make sure when you do have vegetables that require a bit of a boil or a blanch off, that you don't cook them so much that they are soft before they come out of the water. Say for instance for broccoli, you want to make sure that it is not overcooked, and that's because you lose a lot of the valuable nutrients in the water if it's overcooked. The best way to tell if broccoli is ready to come out it turns brilliant green. The moment it turns brilliant green and there's still a slight crunch, pull it out of the water, let it sit in its drainer, because it will continue to cook. And if you don't want it to continue to cook and you're happy with that level of crunch, immediately put it either in an ice bath or run it under cold water. That'll stop the cooking process. As always, team, thank you for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed the first episode of Come Cook With Me. Always remember, before you leave my channel, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop me a like and a comment, and I will see you very soon.